Sorry guys, there is a small internet connection problem. Now I hope it is fine. So guys, so please log in again. Yeah. Sorry guys, a small internet problem. Right. I request all of you please join again. Thank you so much. ये नहीं आता ना?
ये दूसरा है.
दूसरा है? Okay.
हेलो.
Yeah guys, sorry for interruption. Sorry for inconvenience. So because there is a small internet problem. Right. So let's start with. Yeah, cabin lights are switched on only. So all the cabin lights are switched on. So even my camera light is also switched on. Okay, right. See, as we are discussing, so we have to design column not only for an axial load, we have to design column even for the bending stresses, right? So here, slenderness ratio is very important, where it is playing a vital role in designing the column. Why? Because columns basically with the eccentrical load, what happens? It tends to buckle, right? So because of this buckling characteristic, you have to check what is the slenderness ratio of the column, whether it can able to sustain for the load or not. Okay, so these are all very important as a slenderness ratio. So we are defining like this. Slenderness ratio is defined as the ratio of effective length of the column to the least radius of gyration. Okay, so here your value is going to play a vital role. So when your lambda is going to be maximum, so when you get a minimum value of radius of gyration, so then your lambda will become maximum, which leads to what? Slenderness, which leads to buckle. So your R minimum you are going to get as I minimum by cross sectional area of the member. Okay, so from this you are going to get the radius of gyration. From this you are going to get the maximum slenderness ratio. So this maximum slenderness ratio values you have to check. I mean, whatever the slenderness ratio value you get for your section is to be checked with what? With the code slenderness ratio values, which is given in the table number 3. Okay, so yesterday we have gone through the slenderness ratio values of the tension members, right? In the same way, we have to go through the slenderness ratio of your compression members also, again based on the code. Okay, so let's see the codal values which was given in table number 3. So let's see here. So in table number 3, page number 20, the slenderness ratio values are given like this. Okay, so see the maximum values of effective slenderness ratios given for the compression members. So what is the first one? A member carrying compressive loads resulting from dead load and imposed load. When a compression member carries a dead load and a live load, combination of dead load and live load, so which the maximum effective slenderness ratio is 180. So whatever the value you get for your section, it should not be more than 180 value. Then only your column is safe under buckling. Okay, so see this second one. The second point relates to tension members. So see the third point. A member subjected to compression forces resulting only from combination with wind or earthquake actions, provided the deformation of such members does not adversely affect the stresses in any part of the structure. So that means the first one is a member carrying compression force, and the second one is along with the compression resulting only from the combination of wind or earthquake action. Okay, so that is how the second condition is. For this, the maximum slenderness ratio value is 250. Understood? So 250 is the maximum slenderness ratio value when a column is subjected to a combined forces like wind or earthquake actions. Okay, so when there is only a dead load live load combination, then the maximum slenderness ratio is 180. Okay, and see the next condition: compression flange of a beam against lateral torsional buckling. So here the dead load and live load, and the second condition is wind load or earthquake action, and the third condition is compression flange of a beam against lateral torsional buckling. ఇలాంటి ఒక కండిషన్ ఉందనుకోండి, then the maximum effective slenderness ratio value is 300. Okay, so like this, there are 3 conditions for compression members and 3 conditions for tension members. Okay, so we have to check your slenderness ratio of your column based on the table number 3. ఈ టేబుల్ నెంబర్ 3లో ఉన్న maximum slenderness ratio values ని బియాండ్ క్రాస్ అవ్వకుండా చూసుకోవాలి. Then your column is safe under buckling. Okay, so this is very important, keep that in your mind. So when you are designing your column for buckling, right, so that is what the slenderness ratio importance in the compression member. Okay, right, see here one important point you all should remember. So lambda can be calculated from the effective length of the column by minimum radius of gyration. From where you will get the minimum radius of gyration? The minimum radius of gyration you will get from the steel table, isn't it? So you are going to get from the steel table. Then what about effective length values? The effective length values of the column is clearly given in your code. Okay, so let's all of you see how to calculate the effective length of the column, right? So now keep the heading effective lengths of the column. Effective length of column, so which is called L effective. Okay, so this L effective is going to be written as K into L under. Sorry. L effective. L effective is nothing but K into L. Okay, how to calculate this L effective? So the L effective values are given in your code, so which is from page number 45, table number 11. So please all of you go through the table number 11, page number 45, where you are going to get the effective lengths of the different members. Okay, so that members is always based on the end conditions again. Okay, so how they are classified? Let us take a fixed column when both ends are fixed. So this is your original length L. Okay, and the effective length is, how to calculate the effective length? L effective is equal to 0.65 times of L. Okay, that's it. So that is what the value given. See, do you know how you got this 0.65 times of L? Can anyone? How to get this 0.65 times of L from the original length L? Why this value of K is 0.65 times? See, if you see the bending of this member when it is fixed at both ends, so these 2 points are called point of contraflexure. Point of contraflexure. Can anyone define what do you mean point of contraflexure? Point of contraflexure is nothing but where the member changes its sign when it is subjected to bending. Point of contraflexure can also be called as point of inflection. So when a bending moment changes its sign either from positive to negative or negative to positive, at that particular point is called point of contraflexure. Okay, so when a member is changing its position, what it means? It means that member is allowing rotation at that particular point. When the member is allowing rotation, that changing from positive to negative and negative to positive, that 2 point distances from one point of contraflexure to other point of contraflexure, that distance is called effective length distance. So this is the original length and this is the effective length. Effective length యొక్క definition ఏంటమ్మా? The distance between 2 point of contraflexures is called effective length. Okay, ఆ definition ఎక్కడ మీకు కోడ్లో ఇవ్వరు. You all should know what do you mean an effective length. Effective length is nothing but the distance between 2 point of contraflexures is called effective length అంటారు. అర్థమవుతుందా? Let's see for the second one. When both ends are pinned column. Okay, so this is your pinned column, right? So this is your original length L. Can you tell me what is your effective length? Effective length is equal to 1 into L. Avuna? Why 1 into L? Because so this is the bending action. The distance between 2 point of contraflexures is called effective length. This is L effective. Understood? So that is how the L effective is 1 into L, because there is no changing in length in between 2 point of contraflexures. Okay, so these points are called point of contraflexures in simply supported beam. So that we are calling as a pinned column. Okay, so next see the third one, cantilever column. What do you mean cantilever column? One end is fixed and the other end is free. Okay, what is L effective? Your L effective is equal to 2 into L. How you got 2 into L? Can you see the what is the bending action of the cantilever? Straight, and it bends like this. Avuna? Right, this is the bending action, right? And see when how it is became a 2 into L, because the closing of this bending will always takes place in the next support. Next support lo daniko closing untundi, right? So when it is closing like this, right, the changing in its sign from this point to almost this point will be the what? Effective length of the member. So which is the twice of its length anamata. Okay, so that is how in cantilever we are going to take effective length as 2 times of L, right? So which is in cantilever member. Why? Because as I told you, what do you mean effective length? The distance between 2 point of contraflexures. Here is 1 point of contraflexure, right? So where is the other point of contraflexure? It will be here, right? And what is the distance of these two? So which is L effective. Okay, so why? Because the half of the length will be here and half of the length will be here. So that is how the point of contraflexion in cantilever will be twice of its length. Understood? So that is how your member is having effective length as 2 into L, right? And what is the next one? Propped cantilever. What do you mean propped cantilever? One end is fixed, other end is pinned. One end is fixed, other end is pinned, right? Now see what is the bending action. Here it will be straight and like this. Avuna? So see what is the point of contraflexure here? So this is the point of contraflexure and this is the other point. And this effective length is how much? What is the effective length in propped cantilever? One end is fixed, other end is pinned, which is 0.8 times of L. See, these 4 are very, very important, where you have to remember even for writing competitive exams, for calculating your slenderness ratio of your member. Okay, these 4 are very, very important. See, just remembering these values is not that tough. Values remember chesukochu, but you all should know what is the meaning of an effective length. Okay, here malli cheptunnanma, the effective length is defined as distance between 2 point of contraflexures. Okay, so what do you mean point of contraflexure? When a bending moment changes its sign, so that point is called point of contraflexure. Aa rendit madhya distance ne manam effective length of the member antam. Okay, so for fixed it is 0.65 times of L, for pinned it is 1 into L, for cantilever which is 2 into L, and for propped cantilever it is 0.8 times of L. So by knowing this effective length, you are going to calculate the slenderness ratio value as lambda is equal to L effective by R minimum. Okay, so that is how you are going to calculate the effective length. Understood? Clear? So all these values are there in table number 11 and page number 45. So please go through the values. Okay, understood guys? Right. So now we will go to the design of the column. Okay. So because that's the concept. So we came to know what is what is the column, what are the applications of the column, isn't it? And next what we discussed, what is the slenderness ratio and how to calculate the effective length. Ivanni manu discuss chesam, right? So now we have to design the column. For what we have to design the column? We have to design the column to take care of the axial load along with the bending stress. ఈ రెండింటిని మనం సేఫ్ గా డిజైన్ చేయగలిగితే that's it. That is how the column is going to be designed. Okay. So now keep the heading design of column. Design of column కాదు, design of compression member. Design of compression member. Compression members. Why compression members? This compression member, it can be a column or it can be a strut in roof trusses. So that is how we are going to solve one problem on strut and one problem on column, right? That is how we can combine together. We can able to learn how to design the compression members, right? Okay. So now coming to design. So in design, what it has to satisfy? It has to satisfy as your PD should always be greater than or equal to P. Remember this? PD is always greater than or equal to P. What do you mean PD? PD stands for design compression strength, which always should be greater than or equal to compression load. Which compression load? Applied compression load. What applied compression load? Applied axial compression load. Chusara? That is how the P is defined. P is defined as applied axial compressive load which is acting in the column, right? And PD is nothing but design compression strength of the column. This always should be greater than this. Then only your column will be safe. Okay. Then how to calculate your PD? PD can be calculated based on the formula under code books shown number. So about this design of compression members was there in page number 34 clause 7.1. Okay, clause 7.1 page number 34. Complete design of compression members formulas are produced over there. Okay, right. So write down what is the formula of PD. PD is equal to AE into FCD. AE into FCD. ఇక్కడ ఒక ఇంపార్టెంట్ పాయింట్ ఉంది. There is an important point over here. Nothing but AE stands for what? Effective cross-sectional area. Effective cross-sectional area. What do you mean AG? Gross cross-sectional area. Avuna? Right. See, let us take any member in steel structure. Ippudu, if I want to connect two plates, right? So first you have to make a hole in the plate, isn't it? Okay. Plate. And first you have to make a hole in the plate. Avuna? Right. Ee hole nala unchestara. If you leave the hole like this, whatever the cross section area you calculate at this particular point, that area will be the effective area. Understood? So let us take a plate and you make a hole here. You make a hole here, right? And calculate the area at this particular cross section. That area will be effective area, isn't it? Next example, let us take a plate, make a hole and fill with bolt. Fill with bolt and calculate cross sectional area. Will it be AE? No, that will be AG, because that hole was filled with a bolt. Okay, the hole was filled with a bolt with the same material. I am not using any other material. So this is steel plate and this is steel rod bolt. So that hole is filled with a plate bolt kabatti. So by that there won't be any gap. So then whatever the area I calculate, that area is gross area only. So by that, in this column design problems, instead of taking AE, I will take effective area as AG ga తీసుకుంటాను. Understood? Okay. For solving problems, instead of taking effective area, I will take gross area to calculate the design compression strength of the column. Okay. So adi code చెప్తుంది. So I am not just talking like that. So please go through the code. In the code itself, it is talking that thing. Effective cross-sectional area is defined as in 7.3.2 లో define చేశారు. What is AE అని? What is AE? Effective cross-sectional area is defined in 7.3.2 లో define చేశారు. In 7.3.2 ఏం define చేశారో మీకు చూపిస్తాను. 7.3.2 yeah. See clearly in 7.3.2 effective sectional area అంటే ఏంటో చెప్పారు చూడండి. Expect as modified in 3.7.2 clause 4 the gross sectional area shall be taken as effective sectional area. చూసారా, gross sectional area shall be taken as effective sectional area అంటే ఏంటి? AG can be taken as AE or AE can be taken as AG. అదే చెప్తుంది కోడ్ కూడా. For all compression members fabricated by welding, bolting and riveting, so long as section is semi-compact or better, holes not fitted with rivets, bolts or pins shall be deducted from gross area to calculate the effective sectional area. ఎంత క్లియర్గా రాశాడు చూడండి కోడ్. ఏం చెప్తుంది కోడ్? When the hole is not filled with rivet or not filled with bolt or not filled with any pin, then you have to take the effective cross-sectional area. But when every hole is filled with a bolt or every hole is filled with a rivet or every hole is filled with a pin, you can take effective area as equivalent to gross area అని కోడ్ చెప్తుంది. So that is the reason why in my design I took AE as AG. Then formula can be redefined as PD is equal to AG into FCD గా రాయొచ్చు. Understood? So this condition is based on code clause. What is the clause amma? Clause 7.3.2 clause batti I am telling this. Okay, it is not my own words. So this is given by the code itself. So this is how you need to calculate. And what is FCD? How you define FCD? FCD is nothing but design compressive stress. What is PD? Design compressive strength, where your value will be in terms of kilonewton. Okay, so this is design compressive stress, where your value will be in Newton per mm square. This stress, this strength. Okay, so this is the design compressive strength. For calculating design compressive strength, code given a formula which is FCD is equal to Fy by gamma m naught by pi plus pi square minus alpha square, which is power 0.5 under root anamata, which is equal to xylon Fy by gamma m naught, which is less than or equal to Fy by gamma m naught. చూసారు ఎంత పెద్ద ఫార్ములా ఇచ్చారో for calculating FCD. See, there is such a big formula to calculate FCD. Do you think you remember this formula? No. So this is very tough. So instead of remembering this formula to calculate FCD, what code did you know? So code calculated all code given all FCD values partially based on the tables. Okay. So by that you can make use of tables. Table number 9A. From table 9A to 9D, you can able to calculate your FCD from the code. FCD values మీరు అక్కడి నుంచి calculate చేయొచ్చు. Understood? So FCD values can be calculated from table number 9A to 9D, which is based on what? Which is based on the buckling class. Andaru chudandi, in table number 10 యొక్క buckling classes based చేసుకుని table number 9A నుంచి 9D వరకు you can able to calculate your FCD values. That is how code made it very easy for you to calculate FCD values. So don't worry guys, I will try to show you how to calculate this FCD value from the tables by doing a few problems. Okay, see, in table number 10 there is a buckling class of cross section. So first you have to calculate the buckling class, and the yield strength of steel is 250. Based on the buckling class and based on the yield strength, you have to calculate your FCD values from tables. ఏంటా టేబుల్స్? ఇదిగోండి, ఇక్కడ చాలా క్లియర్గా ఉన్నాయి. See all of you. So there is a table 9A, design compressive stress FCD for column buckling class A. When your column is falling under class A, you have to calculate your FCD value from this table. Okay, so this table's law x-axis gives yield stress, which is Fy. What is your yield stress of steel? Which is 250. Straight away you can take. And what is your y-axis? What is your y-axis? Your y-axis is KL by R. What do you mean KL by R? KL by R stands for slenderness ratio. So based on your slenderness ratio of your column, based on the yield strength of steel, which is 250, okay, you have to interpolate. Which interpolation? As I told you, mathematics is very important for design of steel structures. Based on the double interpolation, you have to calculate your FCD value for buckling class A. Okay, so within this yield strength to slenderness ratio, దీన్ని double interpolation చేసి మీ FCD value ఎంత తీసుకోవాలి. So like this you have to go through. When your buckling class falls under class B, you have to go through this table. When your buckling class is class B, okay, so when your buckling class is class C, you have to follow this table. In the same way, when your buckling class is class D, you have to follow this table to calculate your FCD value. Understood? Clear? So this is how you need to calculate. Sir, ఏ buckling class అనేది ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది? See, the buckling class will be clearly known based on the table number 10. Table number 10 is clearly showing buckling class of cross sections. ఇక్కడ చూడండి ఒకసారి. ఫస్ట్ సెక్షన్ హాట్ రోల్డ్ సెక్షన్. Hot rolled I section, right? When your section is hot rolled I section, what do you mean hot rolled I section? So hot rolled I section is the one which is manufactured in the steel industries. ఈ విధంగా హాట్ రోల్డ్ సెక్షన్ ఉందనుకోండి, యూ హ్యావ్ టు క్యాలిక్యులేట్ ద లిమిట్స్. ఇక్కడ లిమిట్స్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయొచ్చు, చాలా ఈజీగా ఉంటుంది క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయడం. సో యూ క్యాన్ జస్ట్ గో త్రూ. హెచ్ బై బిఎఫ్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయాలి. హెచ్ ఈస్ ద డెప్త్ ఆఫ్ ద సెక్షన్, బిఎఫ్ ఈస్ ద width of the flange, okay, TF is the thickness of the flange. When you are getting this condition, it goes under buckling class axis, and based on your axis it falls under class. మీరు ఏ క్లాస్ కిందకి కండిషన్ వస్తుందో చెక్ చేసుకోవాలన్నమాట. ఇన్ దాట్ వే యూ హ్యావ్ టు చెక్ హెచ్ బై బిఎఫ్ వాల్యూ అండ్ టిఎఫ్ వాల్యూ. బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద buckling axis you have to go through which class it falls under. Based on the buckling class you have to go through the table and calculate your design compressive stress. ఆ విధంగా మీరు క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయాల్సి వస్తుంది. In the same way, look at the other one, other cross section, welded I section. What do you mean welded I section? So welded I section, it can also be called as what? Built up section. Okay, when you come across any built up section like this, దీనికి రెండు డిఫరెన్స్ చూడండి. This is hot rolled section, this is built up section where the flange and web was welded together, isn't it? So ఈ మీకు built up section వచ్చింది అనుకోండి, you have to check your problem for these two conditions. TF, thickness of the flange less than 40 mm, thickness of the flange greater than 40 mm చూడాలి. Okay, based on that, based on the buckling axis, you need to choose which section it is falling under, ఏ క్లాస్ కిందకు వస్తుందో చూడాలి. Okay, so like this. And next one, hollow section. If it is a circular hollow section, because columns hollow sections ఎక్కువ యూజ్ చేస్తారు. మనం ఆల్రెడీ ఒక క్వశ్చన్ చూసాం. So in the third day of our class, I think so, we have done one problem. Solid circular section కి ఎక్కువ స్ట్రెంత్ ఉంటుందా, hollow tube కి ఎక్కువ స్ట్రెంత్ ఉంటుందా? Obviously hollow tubes will have more strength. Why? Because they are not prone to buckling because they are very strong towards torsional resistance. Okay, so by that we can make use of hollow circular section, hollow square section, hollow rectangular sections as a column. Okay, so if the hollow rectangular, square or circular section is hot rolled, which is prepared in an industry, so by that the class is straight away as A class కిందకి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది అనమాట. So if it is cold formed section, it is straight away go to class B. Okay, in that way. And coming to the next cross section, which is a welded box section. ఇలాంటివి ఎక్కువగా బాక్స్ గర్డర్స్ లో వాడతారు ఫర్ బ్రిడ్జెస్. ఇలాంటి ఒక సెక్షన్ ఉందనుకోండి, యూ హ్యావ్ టు చెక్ అండ్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు సీ ఇన్ విచ్ క్లాస్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఫాలోయింగ్ అండర్. ఓకే, అండ్ నెక్స్ట్ వన్ అదర్ సెక్షన్స్ లైక్ ఛానల్ సెక్షన్, యాంగులర్ సెక్షన్, టీ సెక్షన్, సాలిడ్ రెక్టాంగులర్ సెక్షన్, సాలిడ్ సర్క్యులర్ సెక్షన్, ఇవన్నీ ఏ సెక్షన్స్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్లో ఉన్నా స్ట్రైట్ అవే యూ క్యాన్ టేక్ బక్లింగ్ క్లాస్ యాజ్ సి. ఇట్ విల్ fail under buckling class C anamata. And last one is built up member. When you want to join two hot rolled sections with the help of a plate. చూడండి, ఇది హాట్ రోల్డ్ సెక్షన్, ఇది హాట్ రోల్డ్ సెక్షన్, బట్ పైన ఒక ప్లేట్ కింద ఒక ప్లేట్ కనెక్ట్ చేస్తున్నాం. దీస్ ప్లేట్స్ ఆర్ వెల్డెడ్ టు ది హాట్ రోల్డ్ సెక్షన్. బై దట్ దిస్ సెక్షన్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ ఎ బిల్ట్ అప్ మెంబర్. దీన్ని మనం బిల్ట్ అప్ మెంబర్ అంటాం. సో దిస్ బిల్ట్ అప్ మెంబర్ విల్ ఫాల్స్ అండర్ buckling class C. Okay, like this the buckling classes are going to be chosen from the table number 10. Okay, based on the buckling class, based on the yield strength of steel, you are going to calculate your FCD values. Understood? So FCD values ఆ విధంగా మనం calculate చేస్తాం అన్నమాట. Okay, so this is how you are going to calculate, guys. So instead of using such a big formula, you can make use of the tables of 9A to 9D, where you can able to calculate your డిజైన్ కంప్రెషన్ స్ట్రెస్ వాల్యూస్. 9A అంటే క్లాస్ ఏ, 9B అంటే క్లాస్ బి, 9C అంటే క్లాస్ సి, 9D అంటే క్లాస్ డి అనమాట. ఓకే, సో దట్ ఈస్ హౌ యు ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు క్యాలిక్యులేట్. అండర్స్టూడ్? సో సింపుల్. ఇంక ఎటువంటి ఫార్ములాస్ ఉండవమ్మా. ఇన్ డిజైనింగ్ ఆఫ్ ఏ కంప్రెషన్ మెంబర్స్ ద ఓన్లీ ఫార్ములా ఈస్ దిస్: PD ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు AE ఇంటూ FCD. AE క్యాన్ బి రిటర్న్ యాజ్ AG. బై దట్ PD ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు AG ఇంటూ FCD. AG ఎక్కడి నుంచి వస్తుందమ్మా? ద గ్రాస్ ఏరియా యు ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు గెట్ ఫ్రమ్ ద స్టీల్ టేబుల్. Gross area of any section which you choose, you are going to get from the steel table, and FCD values you are going to get from the table number 9A to 9D. By that you can able to calculate your PD value, and your PD value should always be greater than applied axial compression load. Then your column is safe under axial force or axial load. అర్థమవుతుందా? So this is how the columns are going to be designed. Understood? Right? So now what we do is we will try to solve one problem on struts. Why? Because strut is also a compression member which will be used in roof trusses. As how we did problem on ties. Tie is a tension member in a roof truss. Alage we will try to solve one problem on strut which is a compression member in roof truss, and next we will go to the column which is in a buildings. Okay, vertical column ki design cheddam. Okay, so now all of you note down one problem on strut. Right? Problem on strut. Okay, strut is a రైట్. సో దీంట్లో చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ నోట్ గుర్తుపెట్టుకున్నామా. నోట్స్ ఏంటి? 3 కండిషన్స్. ఓకే, సి యువర్ టేబుల్ నెంబర్ 11 ఈజ్ గివింగ్ ఎఫెక్టివ్ లెంత్ వాల్యూస్ ఫర్ ద కాలమ్స్. ఇక్కడ ఇచ్చిన మీకు ఎఫెక్టివ్ లెంత్ ఆఫ్ మెంబర్స్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో ఇవన్నీ కాలమ్స్ అన్నమాట. Column when it is cantilever, column when it is pinned, column when it is propped cantilever, column when it is fixed. ఇవన్నీ ఎఫెక్టివ్ లెంత్స్ ఫర్ కాలమ్స్. కాలమ్స్కి ఇచ్చిన ఎఫెక్టివ్ లెంత్లు అనమాట ఇవి. సో వెన్ యూ నో ద ఎఫెక్టివ్ లెంత్, by knowing the radius of gyration you can able to calculate your lambda value, isn't it? But what happens to the strut? Strut is also a compression member but will be used in roof trusses where your strut is not a vertical member, strut is an inclined member. Avuna kada? So for the inclined member, how to calculate the effective length? ఈ ఎఫెక్టివ్ లెంత్లో ఇంక్లైన్ మెంబర్స్కి ఏ విధంగా ఉంటాయి అది నేను ఇక్కడ చెప్పబోతున్నాను. ఓకే, సో దట్స్ వై ఇట్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. అందువల్ల మీరు ఏం చేస్తారంటే నోట్ ఎఫెక్టివ్ లెంత్ ఆఫ్ స్ట్రట్ అని గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. ఓకే, సో లెట్స్ టేక్ వన్ డయాగ్రామ్. అందరూ ఒక డయాగ్రామ్ డ్రా చేసుకుంటే మీకు అర్థమవుతుంది. ఏ గసెట్ ప్లేట్ కనెక్టెడ్ విత్ an angle. In నిన్నటి వరకు మనం ఏం చేసాం, in earlier tension members your angle is subjected to what? Tension. But here your angle is subjected to compression. So the resistance from the gusset plate is also will be under compression. So this is called compression force. So by that this member is called a strut. Understood? This is called a gusset plate. These two are going to be connected with the help of a bolts. Yes or no? ఇది మనం కంప్రెషన్ మెంబర్స్లో మనం నేర్చుకుంటున్న ప్రాబ్లం, రైట్? ఓకే, సో ఇప్పుడు నేను ఎఫెక్టివ్ లెంత్ ఆఫ్ స్ట్రట్స్, ఇప్పుడు ఎర్లియర్ ఇన్ టేబుల్ నెంబర్ 11 యూ హ్యావ్ గాన్ త్రూ ద ఎఫెక్టివ్ లెంత్ ఆఫ్ ద కాలమ్స్, బట్ హియర్ ఎఫెక్టివ్ లెంత్ ఆఫ్ ద స్ట్రట్స్ ఏ విధంగా తీసుకోవాలి. ఓకే, సో ఇట్ ఆల్ బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ బోల్ట్స్ అమ్మా. సో ద ఫస్ట్ నోట్ చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్, ఇది కోడ్ బుక్లో ఉండవు ఇవి. సో దట్ ఇస్ ద రీజన్ వై యూ హ్యావ్ టు గో త్రూ దీస్ వాల్యూస్ అగైన్. సో వెన్ యువర్ strut is connected to the gusset plate with the one bolt, సింగిల్ బోల్ట్తో కనెక్ట్ చేశారనుకోండి. ఓకే, వెన్ యువర్ స్ట్రట్ ఈస్ కనెక్టెడ్ విత్ గసెట్ ప్లేట్ విత్ సింగిల్ బోల్ట్, వన్ బోల్ట్ ఉంటే దెన్ యువర్ ఎల్ ఎఫెక్టివ్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఎల్ అంట. రిమెంబర్ ప్లీజ్, వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఫర్ కాంపిటేటివ్ ఎగ్జామ్స్, ప్లీజ్ ట్రై టు రిమెంబర్. When your strut is connected to the gusset plate with one bolt, only a single bolt, by that your L effective will be L. And next one, two or more bolts connect అయింది అనుకోండి, your L effective is equal to 0.85 times of L అవుతుంది. Clear? When your strut is connected to the gusset plate with more than two bolts, two or more bolts ఉన్నాయనుకోండి, your L effective is what? 0.85 times of L. What do you mean L effective? ఈ మెంబర్ యొక్క లెంత్, ఇది L effective. ఓకే, రైట్. వాట్ ఇస్ ద నెక్స్ట్ వన్? విత్ ద హెల్ప్ ఆఫ్ ఎ వెల్డింగ్. మరి వెల్డ్ కూడా ఒక కనెక్షనే కదా. సో వెన్ యూ కనెక్ట్ విత్ ద వెల్డింగ్, యువర్ L effective is equal to 0.7 times of L. Very, very, very important ఈ మూడు. You can't find these values even in your code. Okay, very, very important. Without knowing this, you can't calculate the slenderness ratio. Without knowing the slenderness ratio, you can't calculate the compression stress. FCD value మీరు క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయలేరు. Without knowing FCD value, you can't calculate PD value. చూడండి ఎంత ఇంటర్లింక్ ఉందో. సో ఫర్ క్యాలిక్యులేటింగ్ PD, so effective length plays a important role. Okay, so in that way, first you should know how to calculate the effective length for the struts. Columns ke already code lo values iche unnaru. Okay, for the strut values the effective lengths are this. For single bolt, L effective is equal to L. For double bolt, I mean more than two bolts, L effective is equal to 0.85 times of L. For welding, when you are connecting with the help of a welding ante ekkada untundamma. So this is the portion where welding is subjected to. Okay, so when it is welding, your L effective is 0.7 times of L. Okay, right. So based on this note, we will try to solve one problem. Okay, all of you, right? So now note down a problem. Problem note cheddam. In a truss, a strut 3 meter long consists of టూ యాంగిల్స్, రెండు యాంగిల్స్ ఉన్నాయంట. ISA 100 by 100 by 6 mm. So there are two angles in a roof truss which is having a length of 3 meters, which that member is a strut. Strut ante compression member. Find the factored strength of the member if the angles are connected on both sides of 12 mm gusset plate by what? By మూడు ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఇక్కడే నేను చెప్పేస్తాను. ఫస్ట్ వన్ 1 bolt. అంటే when your two angles are connected to the gusset plate with 1 bolt అయితే with 2 bolts with welding. That's how this is the one. Okay, so with 1 bolt, with 2 bolts and with welding, ఇలా మూడు ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉంటాయి. So for this we are going to solve the problem, right? So let me draw the diagram for this, so now then you can able to understand easily. ఏంటి diagram? There is a gusset plate where two angles are connected to the gusset plate on either side. ఇక్కడ ఒక యాంగిల్ ఉంది, ఇక్కడ ఒక యాంగిల్ ఉంది. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ వన్ యాంగిల్ and this is another angle, right? So what is the size of an angle? ISA 100 by 100 by 6 mm. Even this angle is also same. So the first problem is what? When these two are connected to the gusset plate, what is the thickness of the gusset plate? 12 mm. What is the thickness of an angle? 6 mm. What is the size of the leg? 100 mm. ఇది కూడా 100 కదా, చూసారా? All dimensions. Okay, this I have to solve in 3 ways. What is the first one? When these angles are connected to the gusset plate with 1 bolt, when these angles are connected to the gusset plate with 2 bolts, and these angles are connected to the gusset plate with welding. ఇది గసెట్ ప్లేట్. అలా 3 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ నేను దీనిలో చేయాలి, అవునా? రైట్. సో లెట్ మీ స్టార్ట్ ద ప్రాబ్లమ్ బై నోయింగ్ ద సెక్షనల్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ యాంగిల్. ఈ యాంగిల్ యొక్క సెక్షనల్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ ఏంటో రాసుకుందాం. వేర్ యూ విల్ గెట్ ద సెక్షనల్ ప్రాపర్టీస్? యూ ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు గెట్ ద సెక్షనల్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ యాంగిల్ ఫ్రమ్ ద స్టీల్ టేబుల్, isn't it? So write down the sectional properties. Sectional properties. What I required as sectional properties? I need gross area. From steel table నుంచి రాస్తున్నాను ఇవి. యాంగిల్ 100 by 100 by 6 యాంగిల్ యొక్క sectional properties. Okay, what is the gross area of this angle? From the steel table, 1167 mm square. You can also refer in the steel table. Okay, next, center of gravity Cxx is equal to Cyy is equal to 26.7 mm. ఎందుకమ్మా రెండు వాల్యూస్ సేమ్ ఉన్నాయి? బికాస్ దిస్ యాంగిల్ is an equal angle. Okay, when angle is equal angle, the center of gravity will lies here, which is same on the both the axes. Okay, so ఈ యాక్సిస్ కి రెండిటికి సేమే, right? Because of the equal angle. అందుకనే Cxx Cyy are both are same, which is 26.7 mm. And next one, radius of gyration Rxx is equal to Ryy is equal to 30.9 mm. అంటే radius of gyration of this angle in terms of x-axis, in terms of y-axis are both are same. ఈ యాంగిల్ ది సేమ్, ఈ యాంగిల్ సేమ్. Why? Because both angles are same size. Got it? So these are the information which are required to calculate, right? Along with that, I required one more thing. What is moment of inertia? Ixx is equal to Iyy is equal to into 10 power 4 mm power 4. ఇది కూడా కావాలి నాకు, అవునా? సో what is the so that is how I need, isn't it? So Ixx కావాలి, Rxx కావాలి, center of gravity, radius of gyration, moment of inertia, all these three values I need to calculate the further things, right? So now what I need to calculate? So for calculating the slenderness ratio, what I need the minimum radius of gyration, isn't it? How to calculate the minimum radius of gyration? ఇక్కడ radius of gyration ఉంది 30.9. 30.9 radius of gyration is for what? 30.9 radius of gyration is only for single angle section. 30.9 చూడమ్మా, చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. See, don't mind for telling like this. చాలా మందికి స్టూడెంట్స్కి ఇప్పటి వరకు దే డోంట్ నో హౌ టు క్యాలిక్యులేట్ మూమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇనర్షియా, దే డోంట్ నో హౌ టు క్యాలిక్యులేట్ ద సెంటర్ ఆఫ్ గ్రావిటీ, దే డోంట్ నో హౌ టు క్యాలిక్యులేట్ ద సెక్షన్ మాడ్యులస్. సో పీపుల్ షుడ్ బిలీవ్ దట్. యూ నీడ్ టు అడ్మిట్ హియర్. మీరు అడ్మిట్ అయితేనే యూ క్యాన్ లెర్న్. ఓకే, సో నౌ ఐ విల్ టీచ్ యూ హౌ టు క్యాలిక్యులేట్ ద మూమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇనర్షియా ఫర్ దిస్ కాంపౌండ్ సెక్షన్. నేను ఎందుకు దీన్ని కాంపౌండ్ సెక్షన్ అంటున్నాను? బికాస్ angle is not alone. Your angle is connected to the gusset plate and there is another angle on the other side. So this is a compound section. So whatever the moment of inertia, radius of gyration and center of gravity is given only for single angle section, isn't it? So for calculating moment of inertia for the whole section, for the whole compound section is different. Will it be same? No, it will be different. Adi manam calculate cheyalannamata. Understood? So that is very important, because for calculating slenderness ratio, whatever the radius of gyration you take, that radius of gyration is nothing but the compound minimum radius of gyration manam teesukovali. It is not just for an angle. Okay, so why? Because your gusset plate is connected with the two angles. Two angles are subjected to load. Whatever the load I apply on this joint, that will be taken care by two angles kada. So by that I need to calculate moment of inertia for the two angles. Rendu calculate cheyali nenu, right? So now I will start calculating the moment of inertia. Ippudu randi sir, ఏ moment of inertia calculate cheyali? Which moment of inertia I need to calculate? Is it Ixx or Iyy? Okay, so remember your Rxx of the member is the same as Ryy, avuna? So by that the section modulus, radius of gyration of the xx axis and yy axis is same. Can if you take the whole compound section, can you tell me centroidal axis? Ippudu chudandi. So this is the centroidal axis of the whole section, avuna? So this is y, this is the centroidal axis. With respect to centroidal axis, I need to calculate the moment of inertia, right? Why? Because that is an equivalent axis. So daniki nenu calculate cheyali. So within the y axis, I need to calculate the moment of inertia with respect to the y direction, which is Iyy is equal to 2 times of Iyy of one angle. This moment of inertia deniki compound moment of inertia. Iyy of one angle plus area of one angle into what? Cyy plus 6 square. Okay, that's it. ఇది ఏంటమ్మా? ఏంటి ఫార్ములా? I plus a into y square. I plus a into y square. Y ఏంటి ఇక్కడ? Centroidal distance within the y axis. Okay, so which is 2 times of what is Iyy of one angle? 111.3 into 10 power 4 plus what is the area of one angle? 1167 into what is the Cyy of one section? ఇప్పుడు చూడండమ్మా, ఇది centroidal axis of the whole compound section. And what is centroidal axis of one angle? ఇక్కడ ఉంది యాంగిల్. ఈ యాంగిల్ యొక్క Cyy వాల్యూ ఎంత? ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఇక్కడ వరకు ఎంత మీ వాల్యూ? 26.7, isn't it? 26.7 is the centroidal axis of your angle section from the surface of the gusset plates to CG value. ఇది CG. మీరు ఈ యాంగిల్ తీసుకున్న ఈ యాంగిల్ తీసుకున్న ఏదైనా సేమే. 26.7 ప్లస్ మరి హాఫ్ ఆఫ్ ద థిక్నెస్ ఆఫ్ ద గసెట్ ప్లేట్ ఉంటుంది కదా, బికాస్ దిస్ ఈస్ ద సెంటర్ ఆఫ్ ద హోల్ కాంపౌండ్ సెక్షన్. అంటే గసెట్ ప్లేట్ యొక్క సెంటర్ నుంచి ఉంటుంది. గసెట్ ప్లేట్ యొక్క థిక్నెస్ ఎంత? 12. వాట్ ఈస్ ద సెంటర్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ గసెట్ ప్లేట్ థిక్నెస్? 6. 12/2 6. So 26.7 plus 6. So which gives the center of the whole compound section. Okay, so 26.7 plus 6 whole square. So this is how you need to calculate the moment of inertia with respect to y-axis. Entamma 4721723 mm power 4. Understood? This 111.3 is only for one angle section. This IYY is for compound section. ఈ కాంపౌండ్ సెక్షన్ యొక్క moment of inertia with respect to y-axis. Okay, that's what I calculated. Now start calculating RYY. What is formula of RYY? Radius of gyration with respect to y-axis is equal to IYY by A. Okay, root of IYY compound enta 4721723 by, for the compound how many angles you have? 2 angles. And what is the area of each angle? 1167. Because compound lo manaki enni angles unnai? 2 angles unnai. And what is the radius of gyration? 44.98. చూడండి, radius of gyration of a compound section is 44.98. radius of gyration of individual section is 30.9. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఏ వాల్యూ తీసుకోవాలి ఫర్ క్యాలిక్యులేటింగ్ లాంబ్డా? ఫర్ క్యాలిక్యులేటింగ్ లాంబ్డా యూ హ్యావ్ టు టేక్ ఆల్వేస్ ద మినిమం వాల్యూ. ద మినిమం వాల్యూ విచ్ ఇస్ 30.9. మరి ఇది ఎందుకు చేశారు సార్ అంటే, యా సి you can't just take a single angle section, because you have to check whether the compound radius of gyration is less than this or greater than this. మీరు చెక్ చేయాల్సి వస్తుంది. ఓకే, so that's how I checked, and the minimum value is only 30.9. even though you checked for the compound section, by that you can take this value. నేను చాలాసార్లు చెప్పాను, number of times I repeatedly telling you that we should always take the minimum values to satisfy for getting the strength which can able to carry the minimum load. Okay, మీరు maximum value తీసేసుకున్నారనుకోండి, what happens? your angles may buckle with this radius of gyration. మీరు maximum value తీసుకొని డిజైన్ చేస్తే ఈ వాల్యూలో అది బక్కల్ అయిపోయే ఛాన్స్ ఉంటుంది. అర్థమవుతుందా? మీ డిజైన్ కంప్రెషన్ స్ట్రెంత్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ స్ట్రట్ మే గెట్ more value వచ్చినప్పుడు, I mean the value may get decrease, so it may fail at small loads. అందువల్ల we have to take the minimum values to satisfy. ఈ మినిమం వాల్యూకి సాటిస్ఫై అయింది అనుకోండి, ఆటోమేటిక్గా మ్యాక్సిమం వాల్యూస్కి ఆటోమేటిక్గా ఇట్ విల్ సాటిస్ఫై అనమాట. ఓకే, ఇన్ దాట్ వే వీ హ్యావ్ టు క్యాలిక్యులేట్, రైట్? సో చూడమ్మా, దీస్ ఆర్ ఓన్లీ ఫర్ సింగిల్ యాంగిల్ సెక్షన్. దిస్ ఈస్ ఫర్ కాంపౌండ్ సెక్షన్. కాంపౌండ్ యొక్క రేడియస్ ఆఫ్ గైరేషన్. సో మీకు ఒక డౌట్ ఉంటుంది, సార్ వై యూ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ ఓన్లీ YY యాక్సిస్, వై కాంట్ యూ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ ఫర్ IXX యాక్సిస్? IXX యాక్సిస్కి ఎందుకు చేయలేదు? వై? బికాస్ యువర్ compound section is weak under YY axis. It is susceptible to buckling under Y direction. That is the reason why you calculated moment of inertia towards Y axis. Okay, so that is the reason why you calculated for Y. Understood? So because Y is the weaker axis లోనే మనం క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తాం అనమాట, రైట్? సో ఇట్ ఈస్ 44.98. సో బై ఈ రెండిట్లో ఏది మినిమం? ఈ మినిమం వాల్యూ కాబట్టి బై కన్సిడరింగ్ దిస్ మినిమం వాల్యూ యూ స్టార్ట్ calculating what? Lambda value, and solve problem one by one. What is the first problem? When your angle is connected with single bolt. So ala manam problem ni continue chestam, right? So now take the first problem. When your gusset plate is connected with a single bolt. Okay, single bolt, one bolt మాత్రమే, right? So one bolt, and start calculating. First R value. What is the R value? RYY, which is compound, 30.9 mm. Compound ante minimum value. Out of these two I am going to take the minimum value, because when you calculate the lambda value for minimum, then only your lambda will be maximum, where you can check your lambda for slenderness ratio. At the same time you can able to calculate your FCD value based on the lambda value. Okay, so that is how your lambda you are going to calculate based on the minimum radius of gyration, which is 30.9, and calculate effective length. L effective is equal to K into L. So when there is one bolt, what is your effective length? ఒక బోల్ట్ ఉన్నప్పుడు ఎఫెక్టివ్ లెంత్ ఎంతమ్మా? 1 into L మాత్రమే. ఆల్రెడీ నోట్లో చెప్పాను నేను, 1 into L. What is L? In the problem it's given length as 3 meters, which is 3000. So 3000 mm is the effective length. Okay. Now calculate L is calculate lambda slenderness ratio KL by R minimum. What is KL? 3000 by what is R minimum? 30.9. So what is the value? You got value around 97. Okay. So that is the slenderness ratio value for the first problem, right? And next, buckling class. Angles comes under which buckling class amma? Evarani cheptara? Angles comes under which buckling class? All of you see table number 10. In table number 10, it's clearly shown your angles comes under which buckling class? Angles comes under buckling class C. Okay. Buckling class C. From where? From table number 10. Table number 10 inchi you are going to get the buckling class. Lambda telsu, buckling class C and telsu. So which I need to refer? I need to go through the table number 9C to calculate your FCD value. Okay. So now all of you take table number 9C, which gives a design compressive stress FCD value for buckling class C. Okay. So ఇప్పుడు నేను చేస్తాను చూడండి. So where I have to do the single interpolation. Okay. So ఈ table తీసుకొని I am just writing this. Fy 250 Newton per mm square. Okay. And your KL by R values. KL by R values. ఏంటమ్మా KL by R value? మీకు వచ్చిన వాల్యూ ఎంత? లాంబ్డా అంటేనే కదా KL by R. What is the lambda value? 97. ఇక్కడ మీకు straight away 97 వాల్యూ ఉండదు. In your tables you will have a value of equivalent to 10 intervals లో ఉంటుందన్నమాట. సో మీకు 97 కాబట్టి యూ హ్యావ్ టు టేక్ వాల్యూ ఇన్ బిట్వీన్ 90 100 మధ్యలో తీసుకోవాలి. సో ఐఎమ్ రైటింగ్ వాల్యూ 90 100. వాట్ ఈస్ ద వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ Fy ఫర్ 90? 90కి మీరే చూడండి, దిస్ ఈజ్ 250 అండ్ 90కి 250కి ఏ వాల్యూ ఉందమ్మా? 121. 100కి 250కి వాల్యూ ఏది ఉంది? 100. ఇది 250కి ఎంత? 107. ఓకే. మీకు దేనికి కావాలి? 97కి కావాలి. ఓకే. 97 విచ్ ఈజ్ ఇన్ బిట్వీన్ ఈ వాల్యూ కావాలి. సో ఈ వాల్యూ కావాలంటే ఏం చేయాలి? యూ హ్యావ్ టు గో విత్ ద ఇంటర్పోలేషన్, రైట్? ఇది ఎక్కడి నుంచి ఉందమ్మా? టేబుల్ 9C పేజ్ నెంబర్ 42. ఓకే, అందరు రిఫర్ చేసుకోండి మీరు కావాలంటే. సో దెన్ డూ ద సింగిల్ ఇంటర్పోలేషన్. FCDయే కదా మనం ఈ టేబుల్ నుంచి క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసేది, బై Fy వాల్యూ అండ్ లాంబ్డా వాల్యూ. FCD ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు, ఇంటర్పోలేషన్ ఎలా చేస్తారు? 121 మైనస్ బిగ్గర్ వాల్యూ 121 మైనస్ difference of these two. What is the difference of these two? Yeah, difference of these two endama 7 by difference of these two enta 90 ki 100 difference enta 10. చూడండమ్మా, సింగిల్ ఇంటర్పోలేషన్ తెలియకపోతే ఇక్కడన్నా నేర్చుకోండి. క్యాలిక్యులేటింగ్ FCD is equal to 121 బిగ్గర్ వాల్యూ మైనస్ difference of these two 7, difference of these two 10 of 121 minus 107, difference of these two. Okay. Calculate చేస్తే ఏమొస్తుంది? 111.2 Newton per mm square. Okay, that is your FCD value, right? Now calculating PD. PD formula ఏంటమ్మా? AG into FCD. This is your PD value. right? What is AG? AG అంటే ఏంటి? Gross area of your angle. ఎన్ని angles ఉన్నాయి అక్కడ? You are having two areas to calculate the gross area. Two angles. What is the area of each angle? 2 into. What is the area of each angle? 1167. 1167 into what is the FCD value? 111.2. Together 259.541 kilonewton. So this is your PD value of your strut when it is connected with single bolt. అర్థమవుతుందా? So by connecting with a single bolt, your strut design compression strength is equal to 259.541 kilonewton. ఏం చెప్తుంది ఆన్సర్? What this answer is telling you? So this answer is describing that your angle should not be subjected more than 259 అంటే around 260 kilonewton కన్నా ఈ యాంగిల్ మీద కంప్రెషన్ ఫోర్స్ ఉండకూడదు. ఓకే, సో వెన్ యూ అప్లై ఫోర్స్ లెస్ దాన్ 259.5 kilonewton, then your strut is safe under compression. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో దట్ ఈస్ హౌ యూ నీడ్ టు క్యాలిక్యులేట్ ద PD value. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు మన సెకండ్ ప్రాబ్లం చేద్దాం. వాట్ ఇస్ సెకండ్ ప్రాబ్లం? సేమ్ వే వెన్ యువర్ యాంగిల్స్ ఆర్ కనెక్టెడ్ విత్ టూ బోల్ట్స్. టూ బోల్ట్స్ అయినప్పుడు ఏ వేరీ అవుతుంది? స్ట్రైట్ అవే ఓన్లీ ఎఫెక్టివ్ లెంత్లో ఈ K వాల్యూ ఒకటే వేరీ అవుతుంది. వాట్ ఇస్ ద K వాల్యూ వెన్ యువర్ యాంగిల్స్ ఆర్ కనెక్టెడ్ విత్ టూ బోల్ట్స్? వాట్ ఇస్ ద K వాల్యూ? 0.85 times of L. అదొక్కటే చేంజ్, రెస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈజ్ సేమ్. ఓకే, సో యూ క్యాన్ గో త్రూ ద స్టీల్ టేబుల్స్ అండ్ యూ క్యాన్ go through the code book and you can calculate. నేను straight away answers రాస్తాను ఇక్కడ, because you can also do it on your own. For the second problem, your gusset plate, when it is connected with an angles on both sides with the help of two bolts, ila. Okay, then your L effective is equal to, what is L effective? L effective is equal to K into L, which is 0.85 into 3000, so which is 2550 mm, and the rest of everything is same. And start doing your problem and your PD you will get around 308.672 kilonewton వస్తుంది ఆన్సర్. మీరే చేయాలి అది. ఓకే, డోంట్ ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఆన్ ద పేపర్. సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద PD వాల్యూ వెన్ యువర్ యాంగిల్స్ ఆర్ కనెక్టెడ్ విత్ టూ బోల్ట్స్. ఒకసారి రివైజ్ చేయండి. సో వెన్ యువర్ యాంగిల్స్ ఆర్ కనెక్టెడ్ విత్ టూ బోల్ట్స్, వాట్ ఇస్ ద స్ట్రెంత్? 308.6 kilonewton. When your struts are connected with a single bolt, what is your strength? 259.541 kilonewton. Let's see when your struts are connected with welding. Welding చేస్తే ఎంత వస్తుందో చూద్దాం ఒకసారి. థర్డ్ ప్రాబ్లం, సేమ్ gusset plate when it is connected with an angle. వెల్డింగ్ ఎక్కడ చేస్తారమ్మా? సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద పోర్షన్ వేర్ దే డూ వెల్డింగ్. When you do welding, L effective is equal to what? K into L. What is the K value? 0.7 into 3000. And what is the value? 2100 mm. Calculate all the FCD value from the buckling glass C, everything, and you will get PD value as 362.38 kilonewton. చూసారా? For a single bolt, your strength is 259. For a double bolt, your strength is 308. And your angles which are connected with the help of welding, and your strength is 362.38. మరి మీరు ఇప్పుడు చెప్పండి, యాంగిల్స్ని వెల్డింగ్తో చేయాలా లేదా? సో when you connect your angles with a welding, your angles will have a maximum carrying capacity where it can withstand to a load of 362.38 kilonewton. So by that, welding gives more strength to this connection. By that, the struts can carry more load anamata. Understood? So by that, when you do welding, when you connect with welding, so definitely your angles will carry load, not విచ్ ఈజ్ లెస్ దాన్ 362. మళ్ళీ 362 కానీ ఎక్కువ ఫోర్స్ అప్లై అయింది అనుకోండి స్ట్రట్స్ మీద, ఇట్ కాంట్ క్యారీ బికాస్ దిస్ ఈస్ ద మ్యాక్సిమం క్యారింగ్ కెపాసిటీ ఆఫ్ ద స్ట్రట్ when it is connected with the welding. Okay, so this is how this PD values will use the design strengths of your strut members. Understood? So this is what I need to convey for designing the strut members. Clear? Andarki clear amma? So this is the problem which is related to what? Related to struts. Okay, in that way you have to do the problem. Understood? Clear? Right. So now we will go with today's question, and then we will start doing problem on column. How to design a column, right? Column మీద ఒక problem చేద్దాం. Then we will move on to lateral system, which is the lacing and batten in the next concept. Okay. So please write down today's question. Today's question, very important. Right. So which recently asked in GATE in the year 2015. So in the year 2015, based on the tension members, they asked this question. Question కొద్ది పెద్దగా ఉంటుందమ్మా, but you have to answer this. A steel member M has reversal of stress. Please క్వశ్చన్ అర్థం చేసుకుంటూ ఉండండి. A steel member M has reversal of stress due to live loads, whereas another member, దాన్ని N అంటారు, N has reversal of stress due to wind load. Okay, please try to understand. As per IS 800/2007, the maximum slenderness ratio permitted is, question బాగా చదవండి. A steel member M has a reversal of stresses due to live load అంట, ఇది ఒక కండిషన్. Whereas another member N has a reversal of stresses due to wind load, అంటే ఒక reversal of stresses due to live load, another reversal of stresses due to wind load. Okay, as per 800/2007, the maximum slenderness ratio permitted, ఏది ఎక్కువగా maximum slenderness ratio ని పర్మిట్ చేస్తుంది అని అడుగుతున్నారు. M విత్ లైవ్ లోడా, N విత్ విండ్ లోడా, రెండిట్లో ఏది maximum slenderness ratio ని పర్మిట్ చేస్తుంది? ఆప్షన్స్, ఫస్ట్ వన్ less for member M, sorry guys, some internet problem, so that's why sorry, some internet problem. So please try to answer for this question. A steel member M has a reversal of stress due to live loads, whereas another member N has a reversal of stress due to wind load. As per IS 800/2007, the maximum slenderness ratio permitted is less for member M than N, more for member M than N, both same, not specified in the code. మీకు ఈ ప్రాబ్లం ఆన్సర్ చేయడానికి, ఓకే, ఫర్ బెటర్ ఆన్సరింగ్ ఫర్ దిస్ క్వశ్చన్ ఐ విల్ పుట్ కోడ్ ఇన్ ఫ్రంట్ ఆఫ్ యూ. Okay. See, for answering this question, put code in front of you. అందరు క్వశ్చన్ నోట్ చేసుకున్నారా? ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ చూడమ్మా. సో యూ కాంట్ ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ ఎవ్రీ కాంపిటేటివ్ క్వశ్చన్ సంథింగ్ లైక్ with the same sentence, same way which was there in your code. కోడ్లో ఏ విధంగా అయితే ఉందో అదే విధంగా మీకు క్వశ్చన్ అడగరు ఎగ్జామ్లో. See, this question was asked in year 2015, so which is completely based on the concepts given in the code. Okay, so please all of you read the question again. Now I will put a clue in front of you. By seeing that you can answer whether the option is 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. నాకు మీరు అందరూ ఆన్సర్ చేయాలి, వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. సో ప్లీజ్ ఆన్సర్ దిస్ క్వశ్చన్. సో విచ్ ఈస్ ద రైట్ ఆన్సర్, 1, 2, 3, 4? క్వశ్చన్ చాలా సింపుల్. ఎం అనే మెంబర్ హ్యాస్ రివర్సల్ ఆఫ్ స్ట్రెసెస్ డ్యూ టు లైవ్ లోడ్ అంట. ఎన్ అనే నెంబర్ హ్యాస్ రివర్సల్ ఆఫ్ స్ట్రెసెస్ డ్యూ టు విండ్ లోడ్ అంట. ఓకే రైట్. యాజ్ పర్ ఐఎస్ 800-2007 ద మ్యాక్సిమం స్లెండర్నెస్ రేషియో పర్మిటెడ్ ఈజ్ అని అడుగుతున్నారు అంతే. And here very important, sorry guys, sorry for inconvenience. Today internet was too poor, so that's why these many times I was out of this session. Thank you guys for being in online. So anyway, as the internet is a bit poor today, we will wind up with this today's question because I don't want to get interrupted these many times. Okay, so please try to answer this question, then we will wind up. So because this is one of the important question which is related to your code book. Okay, so please try to answer this. I want your answers. So I think 5 students are viewing this presentation, this class. So I want you guys to answer this question. So which answer is right, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4? See, again repeating question again. A steel member M has a reversal of stresses due to live loads, whereas another member N has a reversal of stresses due to wind load. As per code, the maximum slenderness ratio permitted is దేనికి ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది? విండ్కి ఎక్కువ ఉంటుందా, లైవ్ లోడ్కి ఎక్కువ ఉంటుందా? స్లెండర్నెస్ రేషియో, మ్యాక్సిమం స్లెండర్నెస్ రేషియో వాల్యూ. లేకపోతే లైవ్ లోడ్స్కి ఎక్కువ ఉంటుందా, విండ్ లోడ్స్కి ఎక్కువ ఉంటుందా? లేకపోతే రెండింటికి సేమ్ ఉంటుందా? లేకపోతే నాట్ స్పెసిఫైడ్ ఇన్ ద కోడ్, కోడ్లో అసలు దీని మీద ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ లేదా? వాట్ ఇస్ ద ఆన్సర్? ఓకే, ప్రవీణ్ he answered first option. Okay, what else others? See, 10 are viewing this. I want 10 to be answered this question, amma. Very important, it was asked in GATE 2015. So you can take any member, you can take either compression member or tension member, any member. From that you can answer this question. Very good. Navya answer 1, Manideep 1. What about others? Only 3 responded. Others? So because in examination they won't allow codes, right? In GATE examination they won't allow any codes, they won't allow any kind of material where you have to remember the whole code in your mind. So then only you can able to answer these kind of questions, right? So the clue is, so here I want to put a clue. See, you can refer the code over here. These are the maximum slenderness ratios values. See, the member carrying compression force with dead load and live load is 180. The member which is carrying a wind load in a compression member is 250. అలాగే టెన్షన్ మెంబర్లో తీసుకోండి. A tension member which is having a reversal of direct stress is 180. In a tension member along with the reversal of stresses with wind load and earthquake load is 350. Then what is the answer? Exactly, అందరూ 1 ఆప్షన్ చెప్తున్నారు, వెరీ గుడ్. బికాస్ the maximum slenderness ratio value for wind load and earthquake forces will always be more than the member which is subjected just with a dead load and live load. Okay, so that is how answer is 1. Answer is 1, less for member M than N. అంటే slenderness ratio of the live load is always be less than the slenderness ratio, maximum slenderness ratios values of the wind load. Okay, so in that how your answer is first option. Okay, so చూడండి, చాలా మంది ఏమనుకుంటారు, సార్ గేట్ అంటే దీనిలో డైరెక్ట్ వాల్యూస్ అడుగుతారేమో అనుకుంటారు. నో, దే ఆర్ నాట్ గోయింగ్ టు ఆస్క్ యూ ద వాల్యూస్, దే గోనా ఆస్క్ క్వశ్చన్స్ ఇన్ దిస్ వే. ఈ విధంగా అడుగుతారు. బై దట్ every parameter and comparison of each individually with others also to be assessed properly. Okay, ఒకదాని నుంచి ఒకటి ఎంత వేరియేషన్ ఉందో కూడా మీరు చూసుకోవాలి. జస్ట్ వాల్యూ చూసుకుంటే మీకు అర్థం కాదు. విచ్ ఈస్ హ్యావింగ్ మోర్ అండ్ విచ్ ఈస్ హ్యావింగ్ లెస్ అనేది కూడా చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. అండ్ వన్ మోర్ థింగ్, ద మ్యాక్సిమం స్లెండర్నెస్ రేషియో వాల్యూ ఎఫెక్ట్స్ మేజర్ స్లెండర్నెస్ రేషియో వాల్యూ దేనికి ఉంటుంది చెప్పండి, ఫర్ ఎ టెన్షన్ మెంబర్ అదర్ దాన్ ఎ ప్రీ టెన్షన్ మెంబర్ విచ్ ఇస్ 400. అలా కూడా అడగచ్చు కాంపిటేటివ్ ఎగ్జామ్స్లో. ఓకే, సో ద మ్యాక్సిమం స్లెండర్నెస్ రేషియో వాల్యూ లిమిట్ ఈజ్ అప్ టు 400 అండ్ ద మినిమం స్లెండర్నెస్ maximum value of effective slenderness ratio will be minimum for member carrying a compression force and member carrying a tension member carrying a reversal of direct stress other than wind or earthquake is 180. 180 అనేది minimum value, 400 అనేది maximum value. Understood? So in that way also you may get questions in competitive exams. Okay, so that's how this table is very important for all kind of competitive exams, right? Okay, so now what we should do, so shall we continue or guys, you tell me, shall we continue or shall we continue tomorrow with a problem on compression member? So if we do one problem on compression member, then we can move on to lateral system. Then we can move on to the lateral system where we are going to discuss on lacing and batten. Okay, so as the time is already 12:30, I want answer from you. So whether I want to continue or we will wind up the class for today's session. So ma'am is telling to continue. What about others, guys? So shall we continue? ఇక్కడ ఆన్సర్ రాస్తాను. ఆన్సర్ ఈస్ యాజ్ పర్ టేబుల్ నెంబర్ 3. ఓకే, ఫ్రమ్ IS 800/2007 ఈ ఆన్సర్. అంతే ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్, దీనికి ఏం పెద్ద ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ ఏం లేదు. ఓకే, సో యాజ్ పర్ టేబుల్ నెంబర్ 3 ఆన్సర్ ఈజ్ 1. If net connection is good, please continue, sir. Otherwise, wind up the class. Okay. Navya Batini, right? So, because ma'am, don't mind, because there is a small connection interruption is going on. So, in between the problem, again, we may face a problem, right? So, that's the reason why we will try to continue tomorrow. And anyway, we will try more time. We will spend more time tomorrow to complete problem along with the lateral system, which is lacing and batten. Okay, so tomorrow I promise you guys we will do one problem on compression member, which is compound column. We will do one problem on compound column. What do you mean compound column? So this is a compound column. See, this is your hot rolled steel section which is connected a plate on the top. చూడండి, ఇది ఫ్లేంజ్ కదా, ఫ్లేంజ్ పైన ఇంకొక ప్లేట్ కనెక్ట్ చేశాను. ఎందుకు? టు ఇంక్రీజ్ ద బెండింగ్ స్ట్రెంగ్త్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫ్లేంజ్. ఈ ఫ్లేంజ్ యొక్క బెండింగ్ స్ట్రెంగ్త్ని నేను ఇంప్రూవ్ చేయాలి అంటే ఐ హ్యావ్ టు కనెక్ట్ ఎ ప్లేట్ ఆన్ ద టాప్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫ్లేంజ్ అండ్ ఈవెన్ ఆన్ ద బాటమ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫ్లేంజ్. బికాస్ దిస్ ఇస్ అ కాలమ్ కదా, నేను బీమ్ గురించి మాట్లాడలేదు. ఐఎమ్ నాట్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ అ బీమ్, ఐఎమ్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ అ కాలమ్. సో హియర్ అగైన్ యాక్సియల్ ఫోర్స్ విల్ క్యారీ బై ద కాలమ్ అలాంగ్ విత్ bending stress kada. So as the column is subjected to an axial force, there will be two kind of failures takes place. One is axial failure, the other one is bending failure. axial failure will be taken care by the whole cross sectional area, and the flanges will carry only bending, isn't it? So if I want to increase the strength of the flange in terms of bending, what I have to do, I need to place a flange plate on the top of the flange and another plate on the bottom of the flange. Okay, so that is how compound section is going to be connected, right? So normal column kanna compound columns ekku use chestaru ante, so when the column is carrying heavy loads, the hot rolled column cannot carry that load, so you have to increase the strength of that column by adding a plate on the top of the flange and by adding a plate on the bottom of the flange. Okay, so here I would like to show you two ways how you can connect plate on the top flange and plate on the other flange. Say if you want to make a bolting, so you can make a bolt like this. చూడండి, ఈ flange కి you can make bolts like this. Okay, so if you want to connect plate and the flange with the help of a welding, you can do welding here. This is the portion where you are going to do welding. Okay, so ఈ portion లో welding చేస్తాం అన్నమాట. If you want to do bolting, so this is the portion where you are going to do bolting for this plate and this flange. Okay, so this tomorrow, sir, when you will start the concept lacing and batten? Exactly, tomorrow we are going to start lacing and batten tomorrow. We will finish it tomorrow. Okay, so we will do one problem on column which is a built up column, compound column. దీని మీద ఒక ప్రాబ్లం చేస్తాం. Okay, and then we will start with the lateral system which is lacing and batten, right? I will show you how the lacing and batten also looks like. So here, designing a column with an I section, we are doing one problem, and this is what lateral system. See here you go the lateral system where the sections are C sections. Chusara? Sections are C sections which are placed far away from its principal axis. If you are placing far away from the principal axis, these two column sections is going to be connected laterally with the help of a lateral system. This is called lacing system. The other one is called battened system. This is called battened connection. Okay, so where you are connecting these two columns laterally, right? So these systems are called lateral system. This is called batten and this is called single lacing. If you want to do a double lacing, there will be another cross like this. I will show you even images of practical application pictures where this lacing and battens are used, right? So we will try to discuss in the tomorrow's class about lacing and batten. Both we will discuss. Then after we will discuss about splicing, and then we will go to the column bases. Okay, so tomorrow we are going to do one problem on compound column, how to design this compound column, right? సో నేను జస్ట్ కాలం చెప్పాను అనుకోండి, మళ్ళీ కాంపౌండ్ కాలం ఇంకో ప్రాబ్లం చెప్పాలి. ఇఫ్ యూ ట్రై టు డూ వన్ ప్రాబ్లమ్ ఆన్ కాంపౌండ్ కాలం, ఇట్ విల్ గివ్ లీడ్ టు యూ టు నో హౌ టు డిజైన్ ఎ జనరల్ కాలం. ఓకే, సో దట్స్ హౌ వీ కెన్ డూ వన్ ప్రాబ్లమ్ ఆన్ కాంపౌండ్ కాలం అండ్ lacing and batten, right? Okay, right? Okay, see you guys then tomorrow. Hope tomorrow our connections, everything will be fine. Okay, I will try to maintain good quality tomorrow. Okay, so that is how we are going to wind up today's class. So don't mind, today's class and tomorrow's class notes will be sent tomorrow only. Okay, so today I think only 2-3 pages only we did problems, right? So tomorrow after discussing this lacing and batten all together, I will send you the notes. Okay, don't worry. Fine guys. So then we will leave tomorrow. Sorry, so we will leave class today. So we'll meet you tomorrow then. Yeah, thank you. See you guys and stay safe.